In this video, we'll go over some of the useful English expressions found in the comic book Spidey issue number 3. The story is centered around the theme of balance, which Peter learns from Uncle Ben. Peter's history grades improve, but he faces bullying from Flash, and he can't defend himself because it goes against Uncle Ben's teachings. Peter finds a job as a pizza deliverer, but has to abandon it to battle Dr. Kirk Connor's The Lizard. After capturing Dr. Connor's lizards and trying to sell them, Peter gets the idea to sell his Spider-Man pictures to the Daily Bugle. He gives the money to Aunt May, who is proud of him for living up to Uncle Ben's lessons. So let's explore some of the useful English expressions from this issue. While complaining about how being Spider-Man takes so much of his time, Peter says that his enemies have been elevating their game. To elevate one's game means to improve one's skills, abilities, or performance to a higher level. For example, he started practicing harder to elevate his game and make it to the championship. Also on this page, Peter says that the bad guys have been upping the ante. To up the ante means to increase the risk or stakes in a situation. He upped the ante in the negotiation by offering a higher price, and they decided to up the ante in the game by betting more money. With Peter's grades in history class improving, Peter says, "I owe it all to my tutor, Gwen." The phrase to owe it all to someone is to give credit to someone for one's success or achievements. For example, I owe it all to my parents for their support and encouragement, and she owes it all to her mentor for guiding her through her career. Things are looking up for Peter, but his teacher says, "Well, you aren't out of the woods yet. Midterms are next week." The expression, "not out of the woods," is to still be in a difficult or risky situation despite having made some progress. For example, although the surgery went well, he's not out of the woods yet. And the company is making some changes, but they're not out of the woods in terms of their financial troubles. Peter would love to fight back against Flash, but doing so could reveal his secret identity as Spider-Man. He doesn't want Aunt May to have to worry about anything else. He says she's got enough on her plate now. The expression to have or have got enough on one's plate means to have a lot of tasks or responsibilities to handle. For example, I can't take any more projects right now. I've got enough on my plate. At home, Peter sees Aunt May trying to hide bills that she needs to pay, and Peter offers to start working, but Aunt May insists that he focuses on school instead. Peter says she's right, but I can't let her carry this burden alone. To carry this, or one's burden means to deal with a heavy responsibility or difficult situation. He's been carrying the burden of supporting his family since he lost his job, and she feels like she's the only one who can carry the burden of managing the project. As lizards start to create havoc in New York City, Spider-Man says they look like the handiwork of Dr. Kirk Connors. To say something looks like the handiwork of someone means to suspect or believe that something was done by a particular person or group based on their typical behavior or style. The graffiti on the wall looks like the handiwork of the local gang, and the design of the building looks like the handiwork of the famous architect. Stumbling across a laboratory full of lizard eggs, Spider-Man says, "There's an egg joke here somewhere, I'm just too terrified to find it. If one of you lizards think of one, do me a solid and put it on my tombstone." The expression, "do me a solid," means to ask someone for a favor. Can you do me a solid and pick up some milk on your way home? And I need someone to do me a solid and cover my shift at work tomorrow. Knowing that he'll never be able to defeat the lizard in the sewer, Spider-Man states, "This is his comfort zone. There's too much noise for me down here. Can't see straight, gotta get outside." The sewer is the lizard's comfort zone. The phrase "one's comfort zone" is a situation or environment where one feels comfortable or familiar. She's hesitant to try new things because she prefers to stay in her comfort zone. And he stepped out of his comfort zone and tried skydiving for the first time. After selling some of the pictures he takes during his battle with the lizard to the newspaper The Daily Bugle, Peter gives Aunt May an envelope of cash and says, "The Bugle doesn't pay much, but it's a start." The expression, "it's a start," is to acknowledge that a small amount of progress has been made, but more work is needed. For example, he's only completed one chapter of the book, but it's a start. Aunt May doesn't want to accept Peter's money, but he replies, Yes, you can. It's the least I can do. This handy expression, it's the least I can do, is to express that a small gesture is the least amount of help or support that someone can offer. For example, thanks for helping me move. Let me take you out for dinner. It's the least I can do. And I know it's not much, but it's the least I can do to help you out. Thank you for joining. I hope at least one of these expressions were new to you. Try to use one the next time you are speaking with someone in English or down below in the comments. See you in the future.